When he opens his mouth, a comedian comes up with another joke. He wants a Nobel Peace Prize. He can't even get a piece from Melania. How the hell?
No,
he, he can't get he can't get Melania to give him. She won't even hold his hand.
A 3, a 2, a 1. Everybody,
just sit right back in your hair. A tale of a faithful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. The makers of mighty the makers of mighty safe. Passengers on that day for we were just talking off camera. Oh, wait, we forgot to say it. You say it. Say the welcome part.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Read This. I am Jackie Reed.
I'm Joyner. And we were just talking before we about all of the days in which the 80s, 70s, and 60s had sitcoms that had an actual theme song.
Yes, and how
maybe we need a theme song.
We do.
Well, that was like a great era. We need a theme song.
We've got a song, but we don't have like with lyrics to it. Hey, the song that's the intro to the show.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean because someone just took the music of Law and Order, bum 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 bum.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed.
And they put lyrics
made a dance.
to it. They put lyrics to it. I sent it to Camille.
What?
If we can, we'll drop it in. I'll send it to you. But it is amazing. This guy wrote the lyrics. It's like, bum bum, they taking you to jail. Bum bum, they're taking you to prison. You not gone. Dun 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 dun. It's like this whole. It is the cutest thing. I love it so much.
I thought you meant the dance because I thought you were talking about the dance. I'm telling you, Black folks will make anything dance. There's a line dance for that.
Oh yeah, there definitely is. Now let me say before we really get into this show, for our persnickety folks out there who are just like, oh my God, the lighting is on, man. Oh my God. Joanne is having some technical difficulties on her end because there's some Wi-Fi issues. So her video is blurry. And sometimes her audio is going
good to me.
It's not. Everybody else here, Camille, India, and I are all here to tell you, Joanne. Let me hold your hand. Give me your hand. The video is jacked up. You're frozen. Sometimes it's blurry, but you still look cute in your 1619 hat.
Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble. Were you there when they crucified my Lord? I had to sing a little gospel spiritual. Y'all were upset by the shaking in my video.
I love that you are so bothered by this like camera situation and me like telling you, listen, sis, it's not what you think. That is hilarious. So listen, y'all, before y'all get into the comments and like we don't know Joanne's video, blah, blah, blah. We know.
My video looks fine to me.
Girl, it's not.
Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble,
Girl, listen.
tremble.
Let me just say this. I was prefacing, letting people know about our technical difficulties. I was prefacing that because I want to talk about real quick before we get into the wind down. This one bitch in our comments who just keeps trying to comfort me. So, last week, as in weeks before, Bernie, my dog, has been doing a lot of barking. And so there were a lot of comments from people. I'm a first time watcher, like the dog barking, it's a distraction. I don't mind that. Like, I get it. When I'm trying to listen to something, watch something, sometimes to me, it didn't seem excessive enough for all the comments, but I get it. And I don't mind people giving us that kind of critique. What I do mind is this bullshit. This heifer. So not only did she write this comment in our comment section, let me read it. It's from Teresa Marlene 4374. That's TERESAMARLENE 4374. She says, thank you for, so she's commenting on other people's comments complaining about the dog barking. Thank you for saying this. I agree. I enjoy Jackie, but she continues to disrespect her viewers by ignoring her barking dog and allowing it to distract and disturb her audience. She's so selfish. Girl, I couldn't block her fast enough. I didn't even, but what she did was she copied and pasted that under everybody who made a comment about the dog. She went through the effort to paste that comment. I said, she's out of here, girl. She is blocked and blessed. Blocked and blessed. But I do want to share the loving comment from one of our listeners, viewers. Lori Pelzer said, I'm going to comment about the dog bark. Do those that seem bothered by the bark all understand how hard it is to settle your dog when you're busy? They pick up on it and want to be involved. If you didn't notice, Jackie was trying to rub her dog. She was leaning down, etc. She was not ignoring her dog. And the bark was only a few times. It was a little bit more than that, but it wasn't excessive, in my opinion, and was not as distracting as some mentioned in the comments. In my mind, this was a chill conversation, meaning the whole show. So I hope we can chill without the bash about something that little. P.S. Maybe her dog was having anxiety, which he was, or something like that, or not feeling good. I just, as I will say, because Joanne is the nice one, as I will say, we do not mind feedback, comments about, can you talk about this, or comment, I feel this way too. Like we talked about hair last week, and we got a lot of comments about hair and people's experience. But what you're not going to do is talk badly about us in our space. You're not going to call me selfish.
Safe space.
You're not going to do that. This is a safe space, not just for y'all, but for us too.
I think my video just actually got better because I literally just switched my Wi-Fi. And is that better? How is it?
Bravo, queen. Yes. Bravo. It's so much better.
I'm the tech queen. Okay, thank you. I knew I was gonna figure it out eventually. Wi-Fi will not defeat me. But yes, I was on Wi-Fi. Sorry, everyone. I'm now on Wi-Fi, and suddenly, it looks the same to me, but it looks better to you. But what I was gonna say is, and I'm glad that I fixed it so I can say it with my face as well.
Yes.
And Jackie and I both know, being in TV, especially when TV switched pandemic on, and everyone was from home. It suddenly became a world where in the middle of a cable news broadcast, somebody's baby would walk in. That's happened, not just on my show, but all over. You've seen the videos all over internet. People's child walk in the frame. A dog walks in the frame. The dog barks. It's happened all the time. we would have dogs start letting off. And I would just say to the guests, keep going. We welcome dogs on the show. Bring the dog in the room. Let the dog come in. I remember one time we interviewed this one brother. He brought his 2 toddlers with him because it was babysitting day. And this was before pandemic. And we were like, and I was always like, bring your kids. Your kids are welcome on set. He had to position the baby right under the stage manager because she had to be in line of sight of him or she would begin screaming.
Oh my
And so we
God.
basically had a baby like 3 feet from the camera the whole time because she would have cried. I mean, this is just reality. People have lives. They have dogs. They have pets. And dogs and pets, they're individual beings with their own feelings. They have anxiety. They get upset. They hear a dog outside. They hear the postman coming. There's nothing we can do about it. And in the post-internet era, we have normalized that. It is perfectly fine to have the realistic world around us now. We don't have to fake it and pretend we're in this perfect studio. And this podcast is our safe space. We come here real. We don't have makeup on. We come here unmade up. We come here with our hair not coiffed. We come here how we come here. And we expect you all, because you're our cousin fam, to accept us as we are, including our dogs maybe barking. Nala has barked on the readout. And I didn't have a problem with it because we're from home. We're in the basement of her house.
Home. Right.
She's like, I'm at home. And if I want to bark, I'm going to bark. And there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm not certainly going to stop the broadcast because the dog is barking. So, y'all just kind of have to live with it. Bernie have anxiety, man. And Nala have her own issues. And sometimes you're going to hear our dogs bark. It just is what it is. And if you can't be nice to us, you can't play with us.
No, that's it. See, she's the nice one. She's going to say it in a nice, yummy, loving way. What she said. Because it's not like I want the dog to bark.
No.
Like it bothers me because it interrupts not only, it interrupts my concentration.
Right.
It's hard for me to concentrate while the dog is barking. But anyway.
But he got to do what he got. And the other piece of it is, and you know this, Jackie, the one thing, I'm not a pet fanatic like Jackie is, but one thing I have definitely learned growing up with animals, I've always had dogs and cats. They pick up on your anxiety. So the more anxious you get about them barking, the more they bark. When I try to make Nala stop, I'll be on a Zoom meeting. Somebody will ring the doorbell, especially if it's her walker. There's a certain bark when she knows her walker is down the block. She starts freaking out and barking. She's so excited. And there is nothing I can do to make her stop. And the more angry I get about it, she barks even more. Yeah. Because they pick up on your mood.
Up on that energy. Yep.
Yes. And so she's like, oh, if you're loud, I'm loud. So there it is.
Yeah. And listen, we're trying to do in between all the things that we have going on in our lives. We make time for this. But there are other things going on in our lives, but we still want to show up. We are from home, doing this. We're not in a studio, in a controlled environment. Things are going to happen. And so we ask you guys once again, for some grace when it comes to what may be interfering with your enjoyment of this. But yeah, we're not going to take that whole Jackie, like she went off on a tangent, but she was the same one that said something when I would touch my hair and was like, you act like a child, like you blah, blah. And just
does she think she your mama? Does she know that there's a Mama Reed that's very much alive and well and your actual mother?
I don't know what Teresa's problem is, but she can get the hell on, child.
She might have some issues.
Well, she's been blocked.
She's been blocked. You've been mute. You've been mute.
You've been blocked. Go be blessed. So let's get to our wind down.
Yes.
What are you drinking today?
So I'm still drinking this. I promise you, they're gonna have to start advertising. Hi-Yo. It's become one of my favorite things. I have not bought a bottle of champagne in a week because I've just been drinking this. Because normally I drink champers, but it's so good. And so this one my favorite one is peach mango, and it gives you just a little bit of a vibe, but it doesn't make you have a drunk feeling or a headachy feeling. It's just really good. It's got like ashwagandha and all sorts of stuff to like calm you down. And I think mainly the ashwagandha is what gives it sort of the vibey feeling, when you drink it, but it's good.
Yeah.
Peach mango. What you drinking?
I am drinking Cycling Frog Seltzer. Ruby grape. I've combined ruby grapefruit with black currant, and this has THC in it.
Okay, so you're getting hot.
A little bit of a
woo.
So I've combined the two in my glass here.
Fabulous. Well, cheers.
Cheers, cousin, sister,
clink,
soror friend.
Clink, cousin, sister, soror friend. Yes.
So What's
Give me
your
your wind down. No,
What's
you
your
give me
wind
your wind down.
down? Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah.
Because I have an interesting one. And I'm glad that I have this opportunity to say this out loud, because I confided in my mother yesterday about this. And I said, I'm gonna go talk to a lot of my neighbors about it. So I'm gonna try to make this quick. So there is a gentleman in my neighborhood, right? When I walk Bernie and Oscar, I walk them separately and I walk them around our neighborhood, right?
Mhm.
So I was walking him up the hill one day, and I'm still in our subdivision, right?
Yeah.
I never go outside of it. I walk the different streets in the neighborhood. I'm walking up the hill. This man pulls up, has a heavy Jamaican accent.
Mhm.
And he's asking me, are you the lady that's always cooking? And I know who he's talking about. And I say, no. He's like, huh, are you sure? I said, yeah, I'm sure. And he said, how often do you walk your dog? And I'm thinking, I try to be really neighborly, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, 3 times a day. And he was like, oh, that much? I said, yeah, well, he's a big dog, so he needs a lot of exercise. And he's like, okay. And I didn't want to read into anyway, to me, it was a little overly friendly, but I'm
It's a
like,
little
whatever.
suspicious.
It was a little overly friendly. So I let
Little
that
bit.
go. Then every time I see him, every once in a while, he says hello as he's driving by when I'm walking the dog. Cause I'm walking dogs a lot in my
Yeah.
neighborhood.
Yes.
So one morning I'm walking by his home, and he's watering his shrubs, and he stops and he comes, and Bernie is going crazy, barking, 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 lunging. And I'm just like, please don't come any closer, so I can try to control him. And he was like, is your dog, he said, he seems aggressive. I said, he's not, he's just, I don't know. I adopted him. I don't know what his history is, but when he sees other dogs and people, he just barks a lot. But I said, if you come up to him, he's really friendly. I said, come on over. So he came over, and Bernie didn't do anything. That was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. I should
Yeah.
have left him aggressive. But I'm trying to be overly friendly, which
Right.
is why I hate doing that.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's talking to me, and then he says, here, put your number in my phone.
Oh, no. I knew this
I
was
was
going in
like,
this direction.
why do you
Why would I do that?
why would I do that? Right? So he said, I said, no, I'm not giving you my number. I'm not putting my number in your phone. He laughed, and he said, so do you live here? I
Oh,
said, yeah. He said, where do you live?
oh,
And I was like, I mean, he has to see me, right? I was
right.
like, just right over on the, I'm trying to
Be
be
vague.
too friendly, but I'm
Right.
like, I just live over on the other street. So then I'm just, he heavy accent. I was just like, night, have a good day. And I
Yeah.
leave. So the other day, I was walking my dog this past Sunday. I'm
Yeah.
walking, and I'm on my street, almost to my house.
Oh, God.
And here he comes driving on my street, which ends in a cul-de-sac.
Oh,
So my
no.
street has a cul-de-sac. So there's nowhere you going. So I'm thinking he's going to
Oh,
visit
Jesus.
this other lady in the cul-de-sac who is Jamaican.
Oh,
Nope.
Lord.
He pulls up as I'm approaching. Is that your house right there?
Oh, my God.
I said, yeah, it is. And he just not thinking. And he goes around the cul-de-sac and then leaves. I
Oh,
said,
shit.
okay, I don't know what's going on with this man, but he has me very, very nervous. Now, yes, I wish I would have handled the situation differently, but as bold as I am with confronting people, sometimes when I'm caught in a moment, I can be caught a little bit off guard. And so many
Right.
times I'll make the wrong decision in the moment. I beat myself up about it. So please, in the comments, I'm already beating
Yes.
myself up about how I handled it, saying, yes, that's where I live, and all the stuff. So anyway, my mom is like, instantly, my mom's sitting and listening to me. And when I finished telling her what I just told you, she said, do you want me to start walking the dog with you?
Yes.
I said, no. That's not necessary.
You need to get a big male friend to start walking the dog with you.
No, what I'm going to do is tell the rest of my neighbors so everybody can keep an eye on him and let them know that this made me feel uncomfortable. Because I feel like, why would you drive on my street?
To figure out where you live.
To figure out where he was going nowhere, but just to say, is this a street where you live? And this is a man that's about in his mid-70s. If I'm,
you think you could take him, right? If you had to whip his ass, you think you could do it?
Oh yeah, I'd have to. I could. No, I mean, I don't know.
Do you have a gun?
No, I need to get one.
You need a gun.
I really
you live
need
in
to get
Georgia.
One. I know.
Easiest place to get a gun on earth.
I know. I do need to get a gun. But I also am going to let all my neighbors know, because here's the scary thing about where I live. The side of my house and the back of my house, it's all woods. So to get from my house to my neighbor behind me, you have to go through some woods, right? And so he could and he lives like across the street from the neighbor behind me and one house over. So I am like, he could easily come through those woods at night.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I have security, but I have some lighting on the side, but not enough in the back. So girl, I'm getting ready to get really proactive about I'm getting ready to step up the whole security situation.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to let all my neighbors know that this happened and this man made me feel uncomfortable. The good thing is that we have cameras everywhere.
I was just going to say, you need to have cameras everywhere. You need a ring cam. You need definitely more security, and you definitely need a firearm. Like, I was never a gun person, but firearms are very important in this moment, not just because of creepy older men who may want a younger wife, but also because of potential societal collapse. MAGA people are batshit crazy. They're dangerous. A lot of them are racist. So I'm like, we got our guns because of the possibility Trump might win, just the thought he might win. When he was running in 2020, we were like, oh, we need to get guns, especially with the pandemic. And, the potential for social collapse has always been, to me, the biggest risk, because this society is super fragile. And so I definitely think you need a gun and some training. And and I think you should definitely I'm glad you have cameras, but I also think you should not walk your dog alone anymore.
Well, here's the thing. In the neighborhood during the day, his house is so close to other houses. As I'm walking my dog, I'm always, for the most part, I mean, there's some wooded areas.
Are they home?
I mean, yeah. So there's enough people at home in my neighborhood. It's an older neighborhood. There's enough people at home during the day where I don't feel that I'm not safe walking my dog. What I do feel threatened by is his knowing where I live, driving on my street, and just having to know that for certain. Like, why do you need to know exactly where I live? Right?
Yeah, that's creepy.
It's creepy.
I mean, he could just be a Karen trying to make sure maybe he doesn't know if he believes that you live in the neighborhood. So
there's that possibility.
Best case scenario, he's just a male Karen and he wants to know that you really do live in the neighborhood, and he
asked me for my number.
But the asking for the number is what makes it, especially the older. He might be like, ooh, young, maybe single woman, never has a man with her on her dog walk. He may think you're a prospect, and now he knows where you live, and that's very creepy. And you should excuse me, I'm about to burp. You should find out what his address is and write it down.
I took a picture of the truck he was driving.
Good.
When I walked by his house the other day, I took a picture of his mailbox and the truck so I can share it with my neighbors. But here's what's interesting. When I walk my dogs, baby, I look like I am a crack addict. I don't try to look, for this very reason. I don't try to go out there looking all cute, right?
Right. But it obviously didn't impact. It didn't have any impact because they asked you for your number.
Girl, I will have my hot pink Crocs on, mismatched socks. I always have a jacket on because I need pockets to carry, bags to pick up stuff.
You need pockets to put a gun in.
But I look crazy. I have my bonnet on, girl. When I tell you I am not trying to look cute
It
in my
didn't dissuade
neighborhood
him.
at all,
It
intentionally.
didn't
Or I might
it
have
didn't dissuade
on
him.
pajama bottoms and a sweatshirt.
Don't matter.
I look
Men don't
crazy.
necessarily care about that.
No, they
So
don't. They
yeah,
clearly not. But yeah, so that's
clearly.
my wind down, girl. I got
Woo.
a crazy potential stalker in my neighborhood. But
Wow.
we'll see what happens. I'll
Woo.
get you updated next week.
Please keep me updated. I'm going to be now very concerned. And I also have woods behind my house, and it ends in a road way down. And I always think about that. If somebody were to emerge out of the woods, what would I do other than go up and get my gun?
I need a gun. You think I should confront him? Do you think I should go to his house and say,
No,
why did you do this?
no,
No?
no. I think the less interaction, less is more. You want less interaction. You want no further interaction. Like what you really want is no further interaction at all. And if you see him, wave and keep him moving, and no
Yeah.
more conversation. You need to dissuade him thoroughly from thinking you're friendly. And actually, the next time Oscar, is it who's barking at him? Bernie.
Is
The next
barking.
time Bernie starts flipping out, you may want to change the vibe of how dangerous Bernie is. You know what I mean?
You
You
know
may
what
want to.
I'm gonna learn how to, with our one of our favorite shows, Game of Thrones, when she would tell her dragons to blow fire. What was Dracarys?
Dracarys.
Dracarys. That's what I'm gonna start teaching.
Teaching him how to bite into the jugular.
How to bite. I wish he was
Yeah.
a little dragon. But anyway, I'll keep you
Scary.
posted.
Keep me
It's
posted. Well,
crazy.
my wind down is quite dull in comparison. I have a stalker. I mean, no, my wind down is we were in Martha's Vineyard last week.
Yeah.
And I actually, one of the things I actually do love about Martha's Vineyard is excuse me. Oh, I don't know why I'm burping. This stuff is making me burp. Ooh, hi-yo.
It's carbonated, right?
Yeah, it's a little carbonated. And one of the things I do love about Martha's Vineyards, it is always a great reminder, I think, especially in these times of trouble when Black folks feel like we're completely, being under attack, that, it's just a great reminder that our story is not all negative. We have wealth in our, history. We have rich Blacks. We were just around the sort of rich, moisturized Blacks for a week, and it was like actually kind of cool. We ran into, Eric Holder and his brother, and we met up with all these just interesting people, celebrities, athletes, and they're all there, all mingling in with these old Black families that have lived on the vineyard, or at least summered on the vineyard, for over a century. And so I came away from it, thinking, you know what, we can actually survive and do anything, because as Black people, if in the 1800s, some of us were going up to Martha's Vineyard, and, it's not everything, but it definitely was a good week. We had a good time. I didn't rest enough. Unfortunately, I went out and hung out too many times. And, but we were sitting on porches having, just a breezy day with Black people. And it was just such a wonderful, super extra Black experience. And so my wind down was very simple. It's that next year, yeah, but I think next year we should go. I really feel like we need to get a bunch of us and do a big Martha's Vineyard rental next year, because I think every Black person should experience Inkwell Beach and experience, the Black side of the vineyard. I just think everyone should get to experience it.
Yeah, I have a girlfriend who has a house there that she rents out. So I've come and visited with her on the vineyard. She's a Black woman, and bought a house there, rents it out all summer long, and then she goes there in the off season.
Right.
She drives up from New York, and so I went there in the off season one time in October to have dinner with her and hang out with her and see her house and everything. I love the vineyard. I've never been there during
In
the
season. When all the Blacks are there.
during the Black people peak season.
Yes.
I've never been there because I hear it is crazy crowded. But my mom, interestingly enough, I really want to go there with her, because when she was a young teenager, like maybe 19, 20, she babysat for a college professor and their family on the vineyard for the summer. And she told me how she would ride her bike from town to town, no street lights.
Yeah.
She would, but felt that safe at that time. You talk about the history and us being there for so long. This was one of her professors from Delaware State, where she went to college. She remembers it, but she hasn't been back since that summer. So I want to take her back, but I'll probably take her back during the off season.
No, take her back in the season. I see. So the key is, we were there during the first week of August, which is supposed to be slow season, but the Martha's Vineyard Film Festival this year was like packed. Our friend Tracy Curry was there. She's got a film, which by the way is really good. It's a series on Hurricane Katrina that she directed. That's on Netflix right now. There were a lot. Stanley Nelson was there. So the film festival apparently was really good this year. Ralph Lauren's got this movie that is about Oak Bluffs that premiered at the film festival. So everybody was there. It was actually really crowded, and this is not normally a crowded week, but this week it really was. Dwayne Wade was there. It's just like a lot of people were there. A lot of Jasmine Crockett was there. It's like everybody was there. But I actually met King Wallonius, by the way, the guy who made Bleach Blonde, Bad Bill.
Oh yeah,
I met him. He also did BBL Drizzy. He's the one who did BBL Drizzy as well. Met him, but it was really cool. But yeah, it actually was crowded the whole time we were there, and that was supposed to be the slow week. But I actually think it would be great for your mom, even if she goes like late in the season, but still can get a little of the season. You know what I mean? Because the fun of it is seeing everybody and seeing all the just people watching, and seeing what celebs and different people are there.
That's true.
That's the fun part, to see, and also to sit on the porches and meet people. And I will tell you, a couple years ago when we went, we've only taken our kids as a family and rented one time, like for a week or two. And the next year I was like, kids, you want to go back to the vineyard? They're like, we did that already. Like they didn't understand that it's like an annual thing. I'm like, no, you're supposed to do it every year. And they're like, why? I was like, okay. But the year that we all went, and we all went with our dog and our cat, by the way, which was a whole mess. We had the whole menagerie. We went to Nantucket. We did this day trip to Nantucket. And do you know that Nantucket is even an older vacation spot for Black people who've been going there since the 1840s?
Really?
Blacks have been there before Martha's Vineyard. The place where Black affluent folks went was Nantucket. It's a whaling community. And there was the richest Black man in New England lived in Nantucket, and he was a whaler, formerly enslaved, came up, and wildly enough was protected from being caught by slave catchers by the progenitor of the Folgers coffee fortune.
Wow.
Wildest story ever. We went on the tour to this place called Africa Village, I believe it's called, where the Blacks live. There was a little section called Africa Village. The town wasn't really segregated. The schools, weirdly enough, were integrated. One of the teachers at the school where Blacks were allowed to go was the Folger guy's daughter, who was a big abolitionist. It's the craziest story. We're talking about in slavery time.
I've never heard that. That's crazy.
Baby, want to tell you, the whites of Nantucket were standing on business. They would like line up at the borders where the whites would try to come up from Alabama and catch the Blacks. And they would stand there with rifles, and the Black men and the white men would be there with rifles to stop the slave catch. The stories are crazy.
Well, the people, I tell you, who can learn from that history specifically are all these white people and some Hispanics who are talking about they regret their vote. You know what I mean? And they're so sorry and blah, blah, blah. It's like, listen, I get it. You realize now how badly you messed up. But to me, if you want to earn some forgiveness from us, then you need to be as proactive as possible. You need to be on the offense with this stuff. Like you talked about them being on the border. Those people need to really step. They need to be at the first ones at the protest rallies. They need to be the first ones speaking out. And if they're, some people are saying that we shouldn't pay our taxes because of what's going on, with the, taxes on middle class and lower class people, but the rich are just getting away with so much. I've heard an idea floating around as far as pushing back of people not paying their taxes. Y'all do that. Y'all do put y'all's lives and livelihoods on the line and prove that you truly regret this vote. But anyway, I was thinking about that from that history. But I'm glad you had a good time because even though it wasn't that much of a rest for you, I know it was a great experience. Are you going to go back next summer? I think we should go back.
Yes, I think we all should go. I think a bunch of us should go. I know Jason has family members that want to go. I have friends that want to go. I'm like, let's just get everybody who wants to go, rent a big ass house and just go, or rent 2 houses next to each other and have a bunch of people all just go. It's actually really fun. But you made me laugh. You made me, you got to start reserving it now. You made me laugh when you talked about the Latinos for Trump. I think for the rest of my life, the song will play in my head. I will vote. Ding, 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 for Donald Trump. Ding, ding, ding.
I will vote.
Ding, 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 for Donald Trump. And now they're like, ay, ay.
All those people, they all regret their vote. They're just dancing on stage.
Lo siento. No votar por Trump. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, well.
Well, speaking of Trump, I went there and we got J. Anthony Brown joining us in about 10 minutes. He is going to try again. We tried him last week.
We did.
But let's get to some shit you need to know. Please. Because Donald Trump is now trying to distract us all once again. We'll start with this story.
From the Epstein
files. Taking over the policing of our nation's capital, Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
So he's bringing in the military. Yeah. He's getting rid of the homeless. He's heavily criticizing the mayor of D.C. and the way that she's done things, even though crime in D.C. is on the decline.
And not only that, but Donald Trump in May said it was on the decline. He himself acknowledged in May that it's on the decline.
So, but how much does this have to do, Joyanne, with one of his people that got beat up or attacked? There's some MAGA guy.
No, not some MAGA guy. Big balls. Big balls. The Doge staffer whose nickname on X Twitter was Big Balls, who is a young white, hacker boy, whatever he is, that Elon Musk set up to take over our government. He's one of the little white hacker boys that that was working for Doge. Apparently, he was involved in a carjacking in Metro DC, and that is the event that they're claiming was the trigger for it, but it isn't. Because not long before that, an actual congressional staffer, I believe, was shot in the crossfire in a shooting in the district. But that being said, with those two incidents being, pretty scary, crime is not just down in the district; it's been down for 2 years. And Donald Trump in May praised the decline in crime, acknowledged it on camera, only to suddenly claim, weirdly enough, in the middle of August, that there's a crime surge, using the Big Balls getting carjacked, which of course his boss, Elon Musk, amplified on X Twitter. And when he amplified it, that gave Donald Trump exactly what he needed, because he's been desperate. He and Kash Patel and Pam Bondi have been desperate all summer to end Epstein's summer. Epstein's summer is what they're dealing with right now, which is that every day there seem to be new revelations about Trump, his friendship with Epstein for 15 years, Ghislaine Maxwell getting a soft, cushy deal to get moved to a prison camp, Club Fed. All this stuff is driving him nuts. And so he's desperately looking for a way to change the subject from the Epstein files. And taking over Black cities is a convenient way to get the media, which are suckers most of the time, to suddenly start talking about DC crime and suddenly start talking about LA crime and Baltimore crime and crime in every city that a black has a black mayor. But every single city with a black mayor has record crime decreases as of this year. All of them. Baltimore, Birmingham, Chicago, Los Angeles. It's down everywhere. So there's no actual rationale. Big Balls is not the reason that he's federalized the police force. Big Balls is not the reason that he's sending the National Guard here, which he's allowed to do on an emergency basis for 30 days. There's no emergency except the fact that Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the emergency.
I'm surprised by now that they haven't, since they have access and control of these files, that they just haven't doctored them to take his name out of it.
Oh, no, apparently they've redacted. So
they redacted it, but why not just fix it?
I don't know that they can actually just take his name out. If
you can fix an election, you can fix this.
I mean, I guess, but the reality is, I think they are aware that his name is in the files, and it's clear that there must be so much information about him in the files that they can't do much about it because they're acting as if they are in like a cold panic.
Yeah.
And so the fact that they seem to be so totally panicked about the Epstein files that they're desperately seeming to look for really anything they can think of
as a
to
distraction.
try to distract us from the Epstein files, to me is very telling, because what it tells me is that there must be some really bad shit about Trump in the Epstein files.
Oh yeah, but will we ever see it? I don't know.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Before we go to J. Anthony Brown, I want to get one more shit you need to know in there, and that is, we're gonna play one of your favorite clips of the week. I think you reposted this. It went viral, and that is this woman. Her name is Jennifer Welch from the I've Had It podcast. She's a white woman who went off on Donald Trump. Went off on him. And we'll play that clip here.
I've had it with white people that triple trumped.
Yeah.
That have the nerve and the audacity to walk into a Mexican restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, an Indian restaurant, go to perhaps their gay hairdresser. I don't think you should be able to enjoy anything but Cracker Barrel. And if you want to triple Trump and you want to browbeat DEI and you want to browbeat gay people and you want to browbeat black people as you've been doing for 400 years, and you want to browbeat this generation of immigrants that come over here and open up businesses earnestly, pay their taxes, you want to demonize them and call them rapists and felons and all this shit, when the felon is the teeny weeny mushroom cock piece of Kenkel's McTaco tits at the top of the ticket. I have had it from top to bottom. White people that triple Trump should be banned, boycotted from enjoying the best thing that America has to offer, which is multiculturalism. Get your fat asses out of the Mexican restaurant. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel, because nobody wants to see your smug ass, teeny weeny, pink arm, big gut around. Nobody wants to see that. No one.
I love that she was talking about the fact that, these MAGA whites want it both ways, right?
Yes.
They want their own communities, as this group in Arkansas has done. They own all white neighborhoods, right? They created, and they want to do it across the country. They want to deport everybody, not deport, remove. They want to ethnic cleanse the country from people that are black and brown that they say are here illegal, but they just want people gone. But they want to, where do they want to eat? Mexican
restaurants, Chinese, Indian.
They love eating soul food. They love eating Asian food. Where do they want to go? See football and basketball dominated by black people. What do they love? Rap music, right? They're all in, and this woman is saying, don't go to these Mexican restaurants. You know what I mean? When
she's saying you shouldn't be able to go. She said your ass should be banned from soul food, Chinese food, Japanese food. You shouldn't be able to get Korean barbecue. You shouldn't be able to get a burrito. You shouldn't be able to get shit. If you want to live in an all-white America, go to Cracker Barrel where you belong. Stop playing. Stop complaining. You can't have any of it. No hip-hop, no blues, no country, no rock and roll, nothing, no gospel. You get
no jazz.
No. No. And you can't go watch football, and you can't go watch the NBA, and you can't root for all the black players in all of the sports you like. You can't watch track and field or tennis, because that's also dominated by the blacks. So you have to find something else.
Too.
And by the way, blacks invented hockey in Canada. You can't have that either.
Listen, I really wish it could be that way. That they would be banned. Like you have to, when you go to a Mexican restaurant, you need to show who you voted for.
Show who you voted for. And the thing is, to me, they should want it. They want segregation, but they want the benefits. What she was saying, I loved it so much. I got her phone number. I had to get her number. I was like, I got to get this lady number. I have to have it because I have to text her myself and tell her how much I love her. Look, when I tell you These people want all the benefits of a multiracial and multicultural society without actually having to see visually Black and brown people. It's like Brooklyn now. They want to have Biggie's picture up on the wall, but no Blacks can afford to or can live there. If you walk through Fort Greene Park now in the neighborhood I used to live in, they look at you funny, like, why are you in our neighborhood? It's like, this is a Black neighborhood.
And let's say this, though, because she's specifically talking about MAGA people, right? Yeah. But I think you have to lump in there, because you can walk through those neighborhoods in Brooklyn that used to be Black and now are now white because of gentrification, and they'll have Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
They voted for Obama. They put Harris wall signs in there, but they still participated in, right, the gentrification and all the other things. They're not paying attention. Like, she's just talking about MAGA people that voted triple Trump. She calls it. But what you're saying, I'm like, if y'all are going to be a part of the solution, you are part of the problem. But they need to pay attention to what they're participating in by being silent.
Yes.
By not saying anything. But yeah, no, I love her. She's amazing. And it's a great, fun podcast to listen to.
I'm going to start listening. I'm going to subscribe. I love it because it's so real. And we need our white folks and white allies to start speaking up like she is. Because the reality is that we can keep saying this till we're blue in the face, but we've been saying it since 1619. There's only so much Black people can do. We're 13% of the population. We cannot save America. We keep trying, but we can't. It's not enough of us. And our moral compass has always been toward a more perfect union, and white people keep saying, no, we don't want that. We'd really rather burn your town down and lynch you. So it's like, we keep on trying to tell y'all, we told y'all to vote for Kamala. I don't know what else you want from us. At this point, we have to save ourselves, and we expect white folks to jump in, get to the front of the line, get to the front of the picket and the protest, wave your sign the biggest, and you take your risks in front of ICE. You jump in front of them. We're not doing that.
No, because we're going to be the ones that pay the price, right? Yes. Y'all go out there, you'll get a slap on the wrist and get sent home. Correct. We'll end up in Rwanda. You know what I mean?
Literally on the Joy Reid Show this week, we're going to have on a gentleman who was the only Black man that was on this flotilla going to Gaza. And that brother is the only one they all got detained. He's the only one who got the crap beaten out of him. Only the Black man got beaten up by the IDF, because when we go out there, all the white folks it was like 24 of them, but they only beat him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Israel, because of its government, has become a very evil place. Yes. It's just a very evil place. And I know some people are going to say that's anti-Semitic. No, it's not. Netanyahu is a racist. He's a racist. He is, orchestrating genocide.
He's a butcher.
I mean,
I call him Bibi the Butcher.
And anybody who stands by that, hello, Deborah Messing,
including Democrats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, including Democrats taking money from him. Hello, Hakeem Jeffries.
AIPAC. I'm taking money from them.
AIPAC. How many? Come on. I have no respect. I mean, I don't think it was smart not to vote for Kamala over this.
No, it wasn't.
But now you're dealing with a much worse situation. It's like
they're among the people that you're talking about that made a bad decision. And I remember having conversations with people who were in the uncommitted world and who were very passionate. Many of them had dozens, if not 100 family members dead in Gaza, and some even in the West Bank. And so they were hardcore. And I actually couldn't make a strong moral argument, especially for Biden, to vote for Biden. I couldn't make that moral argument. I tried to make it for Kamala because I know she is different on the issue. She wasn't as harsh as Biden, but even she's in the administration. And so to me, I'm like, I can give more grace to them, because if I had dozens of family members dead and I held the Biden-Harris administration responsible, I'm not sure you could get me to vote for one of them either. So I had I put them in a separate category. They made a huge, horrible miscalculation, but they know that. And I feel like they weren't willfully ignorant, because Trump was saying he was going to end that war. He was saying the right things, and he went to Dearborn and Kamala Harris did not. So when somebody comes and asks for your vote in your community and the other side ignores you and won't even let a Palestinian speak on the stage, I have to give you a different kind of grace than I give white Americans who literally have witnessed Trump for 4 years, know what he is, and voted for him, or Latinos, Hispanics, who heard him say Mexicans are rapists and Hannibal Lecter and killers, and heard him speak about Venezuelans being all a bunch of gang member murderers, heard him say Haitians eat pets, and still voted for him. That's different. He was not saying to Palestinian Americans and to Arab Americans the kind of shit he was saying to Latinos and the stuff he had done to white people. So I give them grace. That's the one group where I'm like, I'm not going to sing that funny "I will vote for Donald Trump" song at y'all because I understood where they were coming from.
I get that, but he also did say he wanted to be a dictator on day one.
He did, and they should have known that.
2025 was looming, and it's like
they didn't believe it.
To me, again, you got to look at the totality of what they were pushing, the agenda that they were pushing, because that situation in Gaza is much worse now.
Worse.
Israel
and here's the other thing,
much more powerful and out of control than before.
And the last thing I will say, and I will say this to my Arab American brothers and sisters and to my non-white Muslim, because, there are white Muslims, black Muslims, every kind of Muslim. Yeah. If you are a brown Muslim, you need to make sure that brown is the thing in capital letters in your description of yourself, because no matter what you are and your religion, the thing that this administration cares most about is your color. And that's something Latinos having to learn the hard way. If you are not white, they don't care if you live or die. It's about color and race. And if you're brown, don't think you're going to get away because you're Indian or you're Pakistani or you're not that kind of brown or you're not black. You're still to them basically black. And I mean that with the hard R.
I will vote for Donald Trump. Okay.
I will vote. I will vote. When I tell you, I've listened to the whole song. The song like 5 minutes long, and I've heard the whole thing. There's like breaks in it. They made a whole song.
And they should be ashamed of themselves. All right.
He said Mexicans were rapists.
We have got a great guest coming up for you guys right now. For those who don't know, I spent a big chunk of my career as part of the Joyner Morning Show. 12 years I was there. It's crazy. Yeah. And this man, our next guest, J. Anthony Brown, became a dear friend, but also like a brother to me. I love this man so much, even though he gets on my last nerve. He's also my ex-fiance.
Apparently, allegedly.
Allegedly my ex-fiance, not, it's a whole thing. But J. Anthony Brown, comedian,
and don't go in the comments and say that they broke up and they was really a fiance, because they were not.
It was a whole thing. But let me just say, because he is a Renaissance man, as much as I hate to give him this credit. Jay is a comedian, an actor, an artist. Like did you create that artwork behind your head, Jay?
Oh yeah, I did that when COVID. Can you see it?
Yeah, the BLM. Listen, he is a very talented artist. He's in the culinary. No, you really are. No, I've seen a lot of your work. It really is nice. He's in the culinary world with his hot sauce. He's a businessman. He does so many things, but he gets on my last nerves, but he is all that.
And part-time vegan. Part-time vegan.
Part-time vegan, but you got to and he goes to Broadway. He is a black man who loves musicals, which I love the most. But he is always flying to New York and going to a Broadway show. He loves Broadway. He is such a Renaissance man. J. Anthony Brown, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I'm with two powerhouses in terms of politics. I don't even know how I'm going to fit in, but thank you guys for having me. It's so weird. We tried to do this last week. I got my TV crush and my broke up fake fiance all in one show. So that's good.
And look, for those of you who do not remember last week, Jay was trying to do this on his phone while dropping off
at the airport.
Is your son or your grandson to the airport?
Grandson.
I'll take my grandson to the airport.
So he's trying to drop off a child and balancing the phone the long way instead of the wide way. bad Wi-Fi and everything. And we were like, just go ahead. Go home.
Yeah, Joe's going, no, that's not working. That's not working. Come back
But
another day.
I told Jay.
Yeah,
and I heard
you
about
did.
it.
Yes, you did. You did. What most people know is that music also sometimes matches.
Wait, your audio
hold
is.
on,
Wait, hold on,
recording.
Jay.
I can't hear Jay at all.
Your audio is janky, Jay.
Let's restart coming back from the video.
Jay.
Hold on, Jay. Yeah, we can't hear him.
He can't hear us.
We can't
Jay,
hear you because your audio is bad.
Jay.
Hold on.
I need to fix this layout as well. So give me 1 second.
Okay.
You do
Jay,
that.
hold on.
Try to get his attention.
You
Jay.
talk in his ear?
Bernie.
Yeah.
Wait, Jay, can you hear us? You probably
Wait,
can't
let me
hear us.
call him.
And by the way, Jay, I heard about this then for the rest of the day. I told him, don't be on no phone. And I heard about that for the rest of the day.
Oh my God. Well, I'm here today. I've been listening to you guys earlier talking about Trump, which is great because as a comedian, we get to talk in a different vein in terms of his policies. We just basically get to make fun of him, which is worse than pretty much his politics. He hates that more than anything. Yes. What Trump does not have is a sense of humor, and it's so easy to make fun of this man. Easy. Yeah. Biden was he was old and you kind of gave him a grace period. But Trump, you hit his family, you say stuff like Eric. I don't know, but he doesn't look like Eric looks like somebody shining a bright light in his face all the damn time. That little squint, have you seen Eric? Like, yeah. He looks like he stopped at a police stop every time. And there's a bright ass light in his face. And then the youngest boy, who's like 9'9", you gotta question that boy. You can say what you want to about Barack Obama. You can say what you want to about anybody. You can call people names. But when you look at all the Trumps standing together, you're like, who's his daddy? That boy is 12'8".
Well, you know what's so interesting that you say that? You're absolutely right, because Malia and Sasha each look like one of the parents identical. Bill Clinton's daughter Chelsea looks exactly like her parent. But you're right. Trump spun off all these little blonde people, and he was cheating on the wives. So maybe the wives was like, "I'll go get me a baby with them."
Yeah, and he wants a. It's so funny when he opens his mouth, a comedian comes up with another joke. He wants a Nobel Peace Prize. He can't even get a piece from Melania. How the hell?
No,
he can't get Melania to give him. She won't even hold his hand. He got some shit on his hand. We don't know what the hell that is. And the minute I don't know if you're Haitian or whatever. I don't know. Are you Haitian? Anyway, the minute he started messing with the Haitian, did you notice his ankle swole the hell up? I mean, because Haitians don't need to be close to you to put something on your ass. They were
true. They like broke a stick behind their head.
They'll get a stick.
Oh my God.
Next thing you know, your eyes are bleeding or something.
Well, let me tell you one thing I love about Jay is, as funny as he is very passionate about politics. And what I love, comedians who keep up with current events, particularly politics. Like, he's very well read and up to date.
No, not as well as I should be, but I like it's so interesting because you see politicians, you see people like Marco Rubio and all these people he has hired on him. And I think one of the things that goats Trump the most is that, number one, he's evil, but he ain't smart. Right. He's evil, but he's stupid as hell. And I made a comparison because I watch a lot of documentaries. Hitler was way smarter than Trump. And he really hates that. That gets up under him. And for the most part, when we would hear Hitler speak, we had no idea what the hell he was saying, but it was powerful. I mean, I'm gonna do my fake Hitler. You go, I don't know what the fuck he said, but that was some shit.
Serious. It was serious.
And Trump does not have that. He does not have. Now, one thing about him, he has surrounded himself with evil people who are way smarter and way eviler, I don't know if that's a word, than he is. And they'll come up with that idea, we should do this, it's going to hurt people. And he'll go, oh, okay, I'm assigned it. You ever seen the movie Blazing Saddles?
Yeah.
You see the scene where the guy just signing stuff? He had no, and that's Trump. He has no idea what.
Hey, let me ask you a question, because he has surrounded himself with a cast of characters. Let's just say,
yes,
Patel, the guy from The Real World, Boston,
right,
in charge of our transportation, Pete Hegseth. Out of all of his cabinet members, who to you is the easiest to mock?
Number one, JD Vance, because he's JD Vance and. JD Vance and Pete Halfpint. Pete Halfpint is because I've had alcoholics in my family, and I know the sweat talk when I see it. You ain't bullshitting me. You're not bullshitting me with the sweat talk. I have had uncles, cousins, people in my family who are straight alcoholics. You love them to death, but when you see sweat talk, when they're sweating and shake, Pete Hegseth. The thing about Pete Hegseth, I'm gonna take the job and I don't have any fucking idea what I'm doing. But all of them are like that. The smartest one in the room is Marco Rubio, but he's been reeled in, so it doesn't matter if he's the smartest one because they're all on board with Trump's bullshit. They're all of them. And then they know he's stupid. They
all know.
They all know that he is a stupid man. Yeah.
Do you think JD Vance will ever be president?
Yes, I do. I think. I mean, here's my.
I think so.
Here's my thing. He can't shake this. I can't. Oh, the guy. Oh, Epstein. He can't shake.
Oh, Epstein.
He can't shake this Epstein stuff. He can't shake it. We don't know what he did, but whatever he did is worse than the shit Puffy's did. And whatever's in there is that it's going to come. I believe it's going to come out, and they're going to some way convince him to resign, which will make Vance the president, and he will probably pardon Trump. That's just my idea. I see that happen. I wouldn't put it past anybody for it to happen. Yeah.
Well, Jay, one of my favorite things when you would do when we were on Tom Joyner, you continue to do it all the time, is murdering the hits, where you'll take a song and change the lyrics up. Booty Meat was one of my all-time favorites. Remember that from Erykah Badu's song? And Jay actually went out into the street with the camera on him. And remember that? What was the? I can't remember.
I shot it just like Erykah Badu. Yeah, I shot it the same way.
So you know how she stripped into the issue? No. He did that. He actually did a video, and at the end, we saw his ass. Like he is very committed. But he called it instead of window.
You got to go all the way in, Jackie. If you go, you have to. One of the rules of comedy, which was so good about doing the Tom Joyner Show. So I don't know, how long were you there, Jackie? At least 10 years?
12 years.
Wow.
Oh, you did 12 years? One of the things that was so good about the Tom Joyner Show is the commitment, because you never knew what was going to come up. And for me, people who don't really know comedy, especially improv, is whatever comes your way, you try to make a joke out of it. For almost 20 years, Sybil said I was gay. I went with it. They also had that I dated white women. I went with it. And if you fight it, I don't date no white women. It looks ugly, but if you can make a joke out of it, everybody's in on the joke. And that was the beauty of the Tom Joyner Show, that at any given moment, anybody on that show could be the joke. And pretty much we all went with it. And it made a great, successful show. I have to give Tom the credit for what he did. I don't think, and I'm going to say this, there has not been a radio show that has been equal to what Tom Joyner did. Now,
I agree.
I don't want to call any names about people who
Yeah.
have shows, and you can send me letters if you want to, but Tom Joyner had, because he had so many elements, and not only that, one of the things that helped us is that we were almost the only game in town.
Yeah.
We didn't have so
For a
much
long time.
competition. Yeah,
Yeah.
for a long time.
And can I just throw in, because, and I agree with you. I think the power of the Tom Joyner Morning Show, because it was on in our car every morning as we're dropping our kids off to school. So from child to adult to senior citizen, you all had everybody listening, from children to adults. And the way that you all did broadcasting and comedy, it was accessible to everyone. It's like what I love about Bugs Bunny. If you watch Bugs Bunny cartoons, if you're a
Yes.
kid, you hear it one way, and then when you
If
grow
you're an
up, you
adult,
go back, you're like, hold on, I missed all that. And so the kids, it was going over their head, but when they get, you know what I mean? But it's like you guys were making us all laugh together. But also, I have to say, and I know this is something that's important to you, Jay, at election time, there was no one more powerful
then
than that
Tom Joyner.
Joyner. Listen, no one. And
Yes.
where do you feel like we're missing something in the Black community because we don't have that?
I think we do have it, but the fact that we have so many entities and they're diluted in terms of when they hear Kamala, you have people who have radio shows going, I don't know. She didn't really, I mean, I heard what she said, but she didn't really speak to me. And that has power in terms of other people who listen and say, hey, this is our only shot. We might not agree with every damn thing she's saying, but you need to take your black ass to the poll and vote for this black ass woman. Because if this white lunatic gets in the White House,
Come on.
y'all gonna pay for it. And you see it. You see it now. They would not, and it had nothing to do with she didn't say this or she didn't go here or she didn't talk. It had to do with she was white. I mean, she was black and a woman. That's it across the board. And anybody else that says anything else, because a stupid ass white man beat a smart, intelligent black woman. So
Yeah.
for me, it's because she was black and a woman. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And the thing that I loved about the Tom Joyner Show, and I was really sad to see it go away, was because of what you both are saying about how important it was for the Black community. What the Joyner Show was, and Jay, I'd love to know your thoughts on this, was this place where Black people came together. Joy, you hit on whether you were very young, you know, a parent, a grandparent, everybody, if there was something for everybody, not just with the entertainment, the funny that Jay brought to perfection, but also the information,
Yeah.
right?
Definitely.
There was, you know, Black people were in lockstep, and Tom was not on radio trying to be provocative. I mean, he definitely wanted to be entertaining, but he wasn't just saying something to be contrary. He was out for the greater good of Black people. This is the candidate that's for, he's not going to be out there on his show saying, well, like you said, Jay, Kamala this and maybe that, trying
No,
to
he
get
didn't.
slick and trying to appeal to MAGA people or people who are on the fence, which a lot of people in radio are doing now, just trying to be contrary. That's not my dog. But you know what I'm
They're
saying?
not one of your dogs.
That's my dog. That's Nala. I'm muting.
I'm trying to give you a compliment. Don't start, J. Anthony Brown. This man gives me no rest. But yeah, it's different now. The landscape of what
I
morning
think
radio is.
also what Tom had was so, and you can listen to the other shows, but Tom had so many elements that would go, ooh yeah. Did you hear what Reverend Al said? Did you hear what Jackie said? Did you hear what Tavis said? Did you hear what even Huggy Lowdown or Miss Dupree or Mara J or even myself? You had so many that when you're driving, boom, he's gonna hit you with this. You don't have that in radio anymore. It does
No.
not exist. It
No.
just does not exist. And that's something you can credit Tom Joyner to, that he was able to put all these elements on one radio show. I mean, the dude had a soap opera that he had a soap opera that people
It's your
listen
world.
to
It's your world.
religiously. Yeah. Oh my God, Redbone killed somebody. And that was on the radio. And he had those elements that, I don't see that anybody else can obtain right at this particular moment. I just don't.
No, and the other piece of it, I think, is kind of a change in our culture. Can you talk just a little bit about the state of comedy? Because I think, when I was growing up, my mom was listening to Richard Pryor. There's that era even before that, Red Fox. People forget he was an actual really popular comedian who made entire records of, comedy albums. God forbid Bill Cosby, but we all watched Bill Cosby himself,
I mean, I wanted to be
Eddie Murphy.
Cosby and Richard Pryor. And my first stand-up comedy routine was I learned some Pryor and I learned some Cosby. And I go to this place called Pirates Cove, and I swear I forgot everything I was supposed to say, and I just literally bombed. I mean, it was horrible, but, but I was. And as a comedian, the worst thing that can happen to you is to have an audience of people who don't laugh. It's worse than a death. And when you're having a speaking engagement, first of all, the most scariest thing for most people is snakes and speaking in public. So to be on stage and just nobody laugh, but comedy now, we're all kind of like walking on thin ice because you never know if this guy is going to come after you for something you said. But I think most comics are like, what the hell? So what?
Yeah.
He's funny looking. His family's funny looking. What you gonna do? And you're not telling the truth. Like we were talking earlier, those kids do look funny. Not all of them, but two of them.
Some of them. Well, I mean, and the thing is, I do think, to me, Dave Chappelle is probably the best comedian of his generation. I think he's still in there. Bill Burr, I think, is brilliant. Eddie Murphy back in the day was the guy, right? So it's like we do have sort of iconic comedians, but fewer and fewer, right? Like it's not the way it was.
No, it's not. It's not. Like I said, first of all, the avenue has been diluted. In order to hear comedy, you might have to go to a certain channel. But back in the day, a comic would come on television and build his audience, like on the Johnny Carson show or the Jack Paar show or Ed Sullivan or whatever. And you had that base that they could build, or they would come on Tom Joyner and they could build that base. Now, with it being diluted in terms of comedy channels, in order to see a comedian, it's in one spot or on the internet. But we're still funny, and we'll still see things that the average person doesn't see. And I like to call it ooh yeah comedy. When you say something, the audience can go ooh yeah. And first of all, people don't want to hear about politics if you're a comedian 24/7. They want to laugh. They want to have a good time. I just did a show this weekend, and one of the comedians did strictly politics, and it was just not what people want to hear. They want to go and see a show, laugh at themselves or laugh at others, and I don't know. It's still happening, and that's the good thing about it, that we can still go someplace and people will come and laugh and have a good time.
Well, club comedy is still actually really good because there are some great young comedians. I don't want to make it sound like there aren't. And actually, I enjoy comedy on TikTok personally. Go ahead.
I feel like comedians, not all of them, but too many of them don't really write material and spend too much time just making fun of people like that are in the audience and things like that. Like Jay, I love about Jay will talk about the audience, but in a way, like you got to start it, right? He's got like if he's hosting.
Well, I look at it as a gift from God. If I'm on stage, and you show up in a 2-piece metallic suit late, you're late, and your seat is down front. Everybody sees you have on a 2-piece double-breast metallic suit. That is a gift from the comedy God. And so your ass you should have been on time in your seat, but that doesn't mean that I won't see you in that suit. Now, and coming on late. Yeah. Coming in late is.
But Jay teases me all the time. And so the way that he teases people is in a way where you are not embarrassed. You laugh along with him. I've seen comedians be so mean-spirited to people that they just, it's like, it's horrific to do that.
Let me tell you one of my jokes that I do.
Be off limits. What?
Let me tell you one of my jokes. One of my jokes is when I'm on stage, especially if I'm emceeing, if you show up in a wheelchair, I won't
I was waiting.
You haven't heard the joke yet. Wait.
Where was it going? I was like, where is this going?
Let me finish the joke. I'm not even finished.
I was afraid.
That's not even. Jackie, that's Jackie Joy. Read. That's not the joke. And I used to do this in the club all the time. And I had a guy who would always show up in a wheelchair. He shows up in a wheelchair, somebody wheels him in, and they take him out of the wheelchair and they put him in a seat. And I would always say, you better keep your ass in that wheelchair. If some shit break out in this club, nobody is going. Hey, we gotta get Nathaniel and put him back when he was in the chair already. So sit your ass in that chair.
Why you gotta be Nathaniel? You said if Nathaniel got to go.
I'm just coming up with a name, a Tyrone or whatever.
Is trapped in the club.
Bartholomew, you got a chance to roll your ass out of there. Now we don't have to pick you up. We don't have to pick you up, put you back in the chair, look at what's happening, and then, no, we don't have that much time. Sit your ass in that chair, okay?
In case of emergency.
And it was, the thing about it is, everybody could relate to that. Even a person who's in the wheelchair could laugh at it. And then I would always, if I made fun of somebody, I would say, what's your name? Where you from? I'd like to buy you a drink. And the audience would go, oh, yeah. And then I would say, I'd like to. I'm not going to do it, but I'd like to. Just so you know where my heart is. And they would laugh. And now you got them where everybody's, I don't like to see, but comedy is like, it's objective. Whatever it is that you do that get.
Uh-oh. Did he go away for you?
You see how God got, you see what God, the
See
devil, not even God, it's the devil.
That is
the devil
Lord.
won't let Jay Anthony be on, read this, read that.
Wait, let me see if I can text him.
Satan himself.
I bet his battery died.
Because you told him 50,000 times to charge the battery.
Girl. Hey, let me call.
Your call has been.
And now he got Lord. He turned his ringer off.
You know who did that? Nathaniel. Nathaniel, you're not gonna make fun of me sitting in this chair. I'm about to sit in this seat, and you're not gonna make fun of Nathaniel.
Lord,
read this, read that. That's Nathaniel's revenge.
Oh my God, Lord,
Nathaniel
Jesus.
got him good. See,
Jay
that's why you don't make fun of Nathaniel.
Jay is one of the funniest comedians I know. I love him so much as a person, and he has one of the biggest hearts on the planet. He is the funniest thing, girl. When I talked to him after,
there we go. Okay.
We came back. See, we were just saying that we knew what had happened was Nathaniel rolled all up in there and said,
unplugged it. No, but Jay, I was gonna say, Jay, you really are one of my favorite comedians. And I will not admit that beyond this so I won't say it again. But Jay used to host, and I don't know if you still do, Jay, because I haven't been on the cruise lately. But he used to do something called the Drink Tank, which I'm going to do
it again. I'm going to film it. Yeah, I want you to be a part of it. I would love you. I'm going to shoot it in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
Explain it if you want to. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what the Drink Tank is, when you go on the Tom Joyner cruise, there are tons of comedians there because they're hosting things. They have comedy shows. There's all kinds of. They're part of our radio show. So there are tons of comedians. What Jay did brilliantly was, on one afternoon, all the comedians would be on stage, sitting in seats next to each other. Jay would be in the audience hosting. And the audience could ask them questions, could ask them about anything. And if you got a room full of comedians, when I tell you that was one of the hottest tickets the auditorium would be packed, spilling out, because people didn't want to miss this unscripted moment with these comedians. And Jay modeled it after a think tank, right? And I think that's
Tavis Smiley's think tank. Right.
Tavis Smiley's think tank. You always got to give Tavis some kind of credit. He don't need all that credit. No.
But I digress.
Okay. No. But so it was, I'm telling you, it was one of the best things on that cruise.
I think. Go
I'm
ahead,
glad
Jackie.
you're bringing it back. I think
what made it to give you an idea of what it was like, Joy? It's like Comics Unleashed.
Okay.
But and the reason I think it was made funnier is because the audience is in on the joke as opposed to Byron Allen asking questions and setting people up. And then I'm not taking away from what he does, but what we were doing was totally different. I think the funniest one, I don't know, you weren't there the last time. This guy stood up in the audience, and I think it was like the last question. And he said, I did 47 years in prison. I'm out. I was able to go on the cruise, yada, yada, yada. And so I said, well, what were you in for? And he said, Murder One. When I tell you the entire comedy stage, it was like 15 comedians up there. They all got up and walked the hell out. It was so bad.
Bye now.
But those were the kind of things you would get on the drink tank, where you never knew what an audience was going to say. And if they said something stupid, you got 15 comedians who could, turn it into something funny. And it was great. So I'm doing it again. I'll be doing it at Perfect Notes. I'm going to do it at Perfect Notes.
Let me know.
So I'd love for you to be a part of it, Jackie.
I'm there. I'm there. One of my favorite moments was orchestrated by me when I injected myself into the drink tank and stood up and asked the question. Jay, do you remember this?
No.
Do you remember when I asked the comedians on stage, I said, Roland Martin is back on the cruise after getting kicked off. Remember Tom kicked him off the cruise?
Yes, he kicked him off.
Because Tom said somebody had to stop him. That's what So Roland,
he wouldn't get out of the Q's picture. The group of Q's were trying to take a picture, and Roland with his fat ass wouldn't get out the way.
And Tom had it. So Roland
had it with Roland.
Tom had it with Roland. So Roland finally was allowed back on the cruise, and I asked the comedians on the stage, I was like, you guys are so great at physical comedy. Can you do your best impression of Roland Martin? And I tell you, comedians were like this way. I said Roland Martin. They were up. They all jumped up. They were running around like they had a camera. They were on the audience. It was crazy.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sure Roland did not enjoy.
He went with the bit.
He went with the bit. Yes, he did. Yes,
Okay.
He did.
Okay,
No,
good. I'm glad he has a sense of humor, unlike Trump. That's good.
Yes, yeah. Unlike Trump, right?
Unlike Trump.
No, Jay, I'm glad you're bringing the drink tank back. You're doing so many amazing things. And we have to play one of your recent hits that you did about Trump and Epstein for our audience.
We don't talk about Epstein.
Don't ever do that again.
Said he never met him. Said he don't know him. He never been on a plane.
For years, I wouldn't talk to Jeffrey Epstein.
How do you come up with these?
I think the situation just lends itself in terms of it's so easy. Like my newest one I'm going to do is I'm going to take the music of People Let Me Tell You About My Best Friend. Well, if you play that music, if you play that song and you show pictures of Trump and Epstein, it's easy. He declared this guy was his best friend.
Right.
The music just adds to it.
Right.
The music, it's right there. I mean, like when he got mad with the lady who gave out the numbers, I did a video about with Eveline where she says, "Don't bring me no bad news." And that's Trump. He doesn't want to hear bad news. And what he's going to do now is put somebody in there who's going to give him bad numbers. But it's like, your shit is bad.
Right.
So the numbers that he's giving out are not going to make sense. You're struggling. I mean, he has lied so much. I'm starting to think gas is $1.29, and I know it's $4. I'm like, well, maybe it's $1.29 somewhere, but it ain't in Atlanta. He's been saying it, yeah. And when you it's like shit that comes out of his mouth is just so. I'm not going to I'm not going to lower medical fees 500%, 600,
1,000.
1,000%.
1,000.
That's like going to the doctor and the doctor will give you money and your pills in the same day.
Exactly.
You hear people, you go, he's doing that. He can do that. And it makes sense to them. And it doesn't make sense because it makes sense. It makes sense because there's a group of people who don't look like him, who don't act like him, who don't dress like him, that he can point at and say, they're the problem. And the people who were just as dumb and fucking stupid as he is going, you're right. They're the problem. They're the problem that eggs are $12. They're the problem that gas is high. It's easy for him to do because as long as we look the way we look, or Hispanics look the way they look, or Asians or whatever, there's always somebody that they can point their finger to and say they are the problem. When the truth is, your ass is the problem. Your dumb ass is the damn problem. When you white, you got all the opportunities to do. You can walk in as white and nobody looks around at nothing.
Yeah.
At nothing. I can't do that. I can't do that. And so, yeah.
There you go. Amen.
Yeah, much
Amen.
agree. Okay, Jay, well, before we go, I have to ask you, you got any advice for the Democratic Party? Because I know you're an equal opportunity comedian.
Help them.
I think one of the problems is we have so many, as Democrats, we have so many fires to put out. And it dilutes us. It really dilutes our message. Well, I'm going to put up these statues. Oh, no, don't put the statues up. Oh, I'm going to cut this. Oh, so we're fighting. And all Trump has to do is come up with different evil things to put out there. But like I said earlier, this Epstein stuff, this whatever it is with him and Epstein, it's worse than Diddy.
Clearly.
This is worse than Diddy, and he can't shake it, and it's not gonna go away. And all these sycophants like Mike Johnson with his bitch ass, who will send everybody home just to keep from answering the questions about Epstein, it's not gonna work. It's not, and they know it's not working. It's because their own people are going, well, you said, it's like when you promise a kid a bicycle, well, damn it, you better get that bike.
That's it.
Don't even promise him a bike if you're not going to get, and he has promised, once I'm in, I'm going to show the Epstein, that's a horrible Trump impression, but I'm going to show the Epstein files. And
you have an orange hat, so it's close.
Yeah, and the fact that his name is in there, we don't care about Bill Clinton. We know. We knew Bill Clinton was in there. Hillary knew his ass was in there.
Yeah.
We don't care. But there's some other people that, along with his name, that if it comes out, it's gonna really tear the Republicans down. And so that's the problem. And I think the problem with the Democrats is they have so many fires to put out, and he keeps starting fires all over the place. So it's hard for us to focus as a Democrat. But I think one of the things that really works is stay with this Epstein shit. Stay with it. Don't let him get away with it. Whatever he says, yada, yada. Well, what about Epstein? Be the heckler. Yeah, well, yeah. What about Epstein? And you don't want to hear that. And you know this Epstein has gotten to him because Trump has gone black man with this Epstein. You know how, when you catch a black man, oh, here we go with that shit again. That was 20 years ago. Oh,
20 years ago.
You gonna bring that up again? That woman is dead. Here we go. Oh, okay. Keep it on his ass. That will break him. That will break him. Yeah.
I hope so. Well, J. Anthony Brown, it's so great to have you on this show finally. You got to come back because we both love you so much. You got to come back now that you have your laptop. We can allow
I'm gonna send you a piece of my art. I'm gonna send you. I'll get the address. Jackie, you got some of my art?
I don't. I need some.
I have a piece called. I'll send it to you.
So please,
who's that?
Yes.
Okay, it's called Cup of Jazz. You'll love it. It's very colorful.
Yeah.
A lot of colors in it. I'll send it to you. I'll get the address from Jackie.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. My stomach hurts though now. Thanks a lot.
Later. Bye-bye.
Bye, Cousin Jay. Oh my God, he is so. My stomach really doesn't hurt from laughing.
Girl, let me tell
I
you,
love him.
he is one of my all-time, hands down, one of my favorites. He is just to see what this man can do in front of a mic, particularly just when he's not doing it, when he's hosting, like he can be so funny. And on that radio, oh my God, he had me laughing.
What I loved in the Joyner Morning Show is that ensemble cast, including you, my soror sister, cousin, friend. It was so good because it was a little of everything. Some news, Sybil. It's like it was a perfect balance of newsy, informational, fun, soulful. It just it had everything funny. And Jay always brought it. Always made us laugh.
Always. I'm glad you mentioned Sybil Wilkes, my sister from that show. I love Sybil so much. I was just talking to her the other day, trying to get her to get on Substack.
Get Sybil on Substack. What's she playing? Tell us about playing.
Get on Substack. So she's on now. So we're gonna play around a little bit with that. But yeah, J. Anthony Brown, I love him to death, and I love that he's in Atlanta. Even though we yet to get together for some vegan food because he's trying to eat vegan. So we'll see. All you gotta do is let me know. I'm happy to eat vegan with you too, sister, cousin. So just let me know.
She's a terrorist. Terrorist. Anyway.
All right, and that does it for another episode of Read This, Read That. We thank you all for hanging with us. How much do you love J. Anthony Brown?
Absolutely love J. Anthony Brown. He is so funny. He made my stomach hurt laughing, but he's just so funny and so smart. And I love that he's so political. You know, I love a good political comedian, so I love him.
I know he is. He's. So
I can't wait to see some art. He's gonna send us some art. We love the art.
Let me tell you, this guy is so talented. It's crazy. His artwork is really, really great. So yes, we'll get you some art from J. Anthony Brown.
Jay.
Some of his hot sauce.
Yes, I want some hot sauce too. Yes.
Hotter than a mofo is the name of the hot sauce.
Oh, I love it.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. Please be sure to subscribe, like, comment, tell a friend, so we can grow, our cousin nation here, our cousin community, cousin nation, I think is where we're going with this. So we can grow it. We love having you all as family. And supporting us as you have over the years. And now we want to grow. So please subscribe, like, follow, comment, do all the things and tell a friend. And please follow this woman on go to joyandread.com and you'll be able to find out all the places that she's in. She's got the Joy Reid Show. She's on Substack. She's always traveling around and doing appearances. Mississippi, this place, that place. She's all over the place. So you can find out if you want to book her for an event or if you want to watch and support the things that she loves by following and subscribing, all of those things. Just go to joyandread.com and you can find all the things that are Joy Ann Reid.
Thank you very much, soror sister, cousin, friend. And of course, you want to also do the same with our wonderful soror sister, cousin, friend. I don't know which I'm pointing the right way. Camille has to tell us. Jackie Reid. And you can find her not just at the Jackie Reid Experience, which is awesome. You can get all the Jackie Reid things, but also at vegansexycool.com. If, like J. Anthony Brown, you want to be vegan, sexy, and cool, that is where you want to go because she's going to give you the recipes, the ideas, how to get yourself started. If you're a slow starter like myself, just finding ways to creep into not eating crap because you don't want crap in your belly. It'll make you sick and make you old. So pay vegansexycoolinstead.com. All right. And we also want to make sure that you guys hit the subscribe button, as Jackie said, because if you don't subscribe, the little algorithm here won't know that you like us. So you got to hit like. You got to hit subscribe, hit the little notification thing, the little bell, so that you'll know when we're always here and when we're going live. Do all the things because you've got to support independent media. That is how we bring you all the good stuff that you enjoy so much. And be nice to us in comments or you're going to get blocked.
This is a safe space. We ain't playing that up in here.
People when the dogs bark,
just deal with it. Just roll with it. Roll with it. We're doing the best that we can.
We can't control other creatures.
We can't do everything. We're at the end of our ropes here.
Hanging on for survival.
Hanging on by a thread. And you want to talk about a dog barking.
Sometimes it causes me to tremble. Anyway, y'all, thanks for tuning in. See you on the next story. See you on the next. Read this. Read that. Goodbye.
Bye.